aka Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to AKA Geeks Movie of the Week. This is one of my lone wolf weeks, I guess you could say. Next week we'll be getting back into a group discussion. This week's movie of the week was The Revenant. This movie, it has a lot of accolades behind it. It was nominated for a lot of Academy Awards last year. In fact, it won 3. Leonardo DiCaprio won Best Actor. Inarritu, the director, he won Achievement in Directing, and the film won Achievement in Cinematography. And I think that's where I want to start with this review of the film. Is the cinematography in this film is amazing. There's a few things that are really noticeable. Is that every time the camera is not focused on a person, even when it is focused on a person sometimes, but every time it's not focused on a person, there is something beautiful going on. Something gorgeous, something that is just, you don't see every day, and you don't have an opportunity to see that, except for in this film. This film is like, it's so filled with nature's beauty. It's all natural. And the way that they directed it with all the flowing camera angles and everything, the way that they made everything look realistic with the camera moving, swaying, panning, zooming. And it reminds me of what they did with Birdman and how awesome that cinematography was in that film, with the cuts, with not cutting, with it's up there with all of the best films I've seen that do such an amazing job with cinematography. I really love that about this film. Just such a beautiful job. I guess it's a widely known fact now, is that like pretty much all of the film was shot with natural light. There were a couple scenes where there was a fire and things like that, where they might have had to amplify the fire. But other than that, everything was natural. What they did with this film, with cinematography, was amazing. Definitely deserved the Academy Award for that. Director, he did a great job with this. Inarritu. I'm probably messing up his name. What's cool about this film, as I was just talking about the cinematography, how they won for that one, and the directing, Best Director, they won for that, Inarritu. He also directed Birdman, which I just mentioned. So I mean, you can see the pattern here with his movies. He does a great job with directing, with the cinematography. He finds people that can just, hone into what he visions. And I really enjoy his movies so far, of what I've seen. He did a really good job of putting this movie together. I will say there are some parts of this film that a lot of people aren't gonna like, and that is the slow parts. This movie's 2.5 hours long, 2 hours 36 minutes. So it's a long movie, and there are good sections of this film where there's not a lot of talking and there's not a lot of action. It's just a lot of like kind of slow movement through the storyline with little things pushing the story forward. So for some people, that might not be very attractive to them with this film. I think that there were some down parts for me when I was watching this film, with that being said. But at the same time, I was trying to look at the film as a whole and take it all in. So I kind of overlooked that and I just kept going with it. But that won't stop me from mentioning it. The third Academy Award that they won was Best Actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, Best Lead Actor. He did an amazing job in this one. What he was able to convey through his facial expressions, through the movement of his body in these scenes, it was just awesome. He did a really great job. Now, some people say he could have won for other movies, like Wolf of Wall Street. He could have won like a supporting for Django Unchained. There's so many times he's done such a great job. This was kind of the pinnacle. It was kind of like the total of the sum of all these good jobs that he's done, and it kind of was just bam there for this one. And he deserved it. He did a great job with this one. But not only Leonardo DiCaprio, the acting in this film as a whole was very top notch. All the other actors in this film did a great job. Whatever they were asked to do, I truly believed in what they were doing, what they were trying to convey, and I really enjoyed it. Moving on from the 3 awards that they won, let's focus on a few other things. One of the things that I noticed in this film was it would be quiet and kind of just nature, right, for good portions of the film. And then all of a sudden some music would creep in. I did think when the music would creep in, most of the time it really caught me off guard, in a sense that I noticed it a lot. It's one of those things, like, I would have rather them had a soundtrack, a score through more of the film, so it wasn't so uneasy, at least it seemed to me, or go with less score. or just do a better job. Maybe it's just that I didn't like the score. It just seems so noticeable to me that in certain scenes that I was just kind of taken aback from the movie when I was like, oh, that score is there. Yeah, that's there. I could hear that definitely. So that was kind of, it threw me off. What the long and the short of this film is really that it's a good film. It's a really good film. It's very, very visceral. There are action scenes in here that are very, you know, people are gonna say gory, but to me it seems kind of realistic in what would happen if we're not trying to, make it a lesser rating from R to PG-13, or just trying to hide the fact that this kind of stuff did happen, you know? I really appreciate that aspect in film, that they're kind of keeping with that that visceral, gritty, realistic view of the action, the just getting through this whole movie as a whole by Leonardo DiCaprio's character. It's gritty. You can't deny that, I don't think. The other thing though, if you're not into these long movies, if you're not into a movie where they develop a story that might take some time, it's a slow burn really, this might not be for you. But it is worth watching because it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Alright guys, so with that being said, this movie's coming out to Redbox next week on the 11th. I do, as an overall opinion of this film, recommend you picking it up. It's not for kids, don't let the kids see it. But it is a good film, and I definitely think it'll be a good time. Alright guys, and with that being said, remember to like, share, subscribe to all of AKA Geek's social media. Check out our weekly podcast. It is now on Google Play as well as iTunes. So yeah, check that out, you guys. Remember to like us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. So with that all being said, remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions regarding The Revenant in the comments section. Let's have a great conversation about it. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
AKA Geeks.